Welcome to Cyber Bytes, your weekly dose in the latest in cybersecurity news. I'm your host, Edwin Kwan, and today we've got some news on critical vulnerabilities in AI-powered developer tools, to a shocking ATM hack, to espionage risks lurking in your LinkedIn. There's a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. We'll start with a major heads up for developers and teams using AI-powered coding tools. Researchers at AIM Security have uncovered a critical vulnerability in the Cursor IDE, which is an AI-integrated programming environment that's making waves with its sleek features and productivity boosts for coders. But there is a catch: that same AI magic can turn into a nightmare. This vulnerability, called cur-execute and tracked as CVE 2025-54-135, allow attackers to perform remote code execution. And it does it just by tricking the AI through prompt injection. So imagine a hacker drops a poison instruction into a public Slack channel or a GitHub repository. If any developer's AI agent in Cursor is told to summarize or review that channel, the attack code is silently pushed to the Cursor's ncp.json file for the project. Doesn't sound like much, but it is. Cursor's Model Context Protocol, or MCP, is designed to make the AI agent smarter by letting it connect to tools like Slack, GitHub, and more. If malicious prompts are injected, they can rewrite configuration files, and Cursor won't even warn users before executing potentially harmful commands. The scariest part is you don't have to accept any suggested AI edits. The attack launches even if you reject them. Attackers could use this vector as their personal elevator into your development environment, running ransomware, stealing code, or even causing AI agents to hallucinate and act out malicious behaviors. Fortunately, the researchers reported this swiftly to Cursor, and a patch landed within 24 hours. If you are running an older version, upgrade to Cursor 1.3 or later. This fix addresses the issue, but the attack surface the AI creates is a reminder that any intelligent system that executes commands can, in the wrong hands, become an attack vector. Up next, we need to talk about the state of application security, and frankly, it's not looking too good. Cypress Data Defense's new State of Application Security report has revealed that a staggering 62% of organizations knowingly deploy code with security vulnerabilities, and they do that just to hit delivery deadlines. Let's set the stage. The average US data breach now costs around $9.48 million, but nearly 90% of organizations allocate just 11 to 20% of their security budgets to application security. Nearly 36% spend more on network security, even though app layer attacks cost almost half of breaches. The stress is palpable. Nearly 60% of security professionals say they feel overwhelmed by frequent false positives from scanning tools, driving decision fatigue, and letting more real threats slip through. Only about a third of organizations involve security teams at the planning phase, and over half wait until the last minute. The downstream effect is that security teams feel burnt out, development shortcuts happen, and leadership obsesses more over schedules than security. But here's something that should hit home. 62% of security professionals fear being fired if there's a breach, and 20% think it's very likely. It's creating a culture where people are more afraid of speaking up than addressing security problems, with 83% of organizations now considering outsourcing application security and 8 in 10 teams open to offloading. The industry is now at a crossroad. The solution isn't just having more tools. It's going to take a cultural reset where security is embedded from day one. We talk about shifting to the left to make sure that we match the risk with a willingness to listen to the people on the front lines. And now we're on to our next story. Think you can trust protected links from major security companies? Well, think again. New research from Cloudflare revealed that cybercriminals have weaponized link wrapping services from reputable names like Proofpoint and Intermedia to mass phishing attacks against Microsoft 365 users. So here's how the scams work. Attackers compromise email accounts already guarded by these security services. They craft laundered, malicious URLs. First, they shorten them, then they send out using the compromised account. The link wrapping security system sees these links inside an approved email, wraps them with its seal of approval, and then the victim sees a link that looks legit from a company they trust. Victims get emails about fake voicemails, secured messages, or Microsoft Teams link. When you click, it looks like an Intermedia or Proofpoint protected link, which first redirects through those companies' legitimate domains using their digital trust before landing you on a slick Microsoft 365 credential harvesting site. Some even use constant context marketing tools to host phishing pages. This jump in phishing sophistication shows how criminals are now hijacking trust signals to bypass both humans and machines. The lesson is pretty clear. Even links that look like they've passed through your company's email security filters can lead to disaster. Endpoint controls, user education, and zero trust defenses are now more important than ever. And now we're on to our fourth story. Ever thought of a Raspberry Pi as the key to an ATM vault? Well, that's exactly what happened in Indonesia. The cybercriminal group UNC 2891 merged digital know-how with physical infiltration, physically planting a Raspberry Pi that has a 4G modem inside the bank's internal network. So here's how they did it. Runners are paid to sneak these tiny computers into the bank and plug them directly into a network switch that links to the ATM. Once connected, the criminals remotely access the device, drop in a backdoor called Tiny Shell that's disguised to look like a normal Linux software. They keep persistent access with clever tricks, including using dynamic DNS and hiding malicious programs in bind mounts. Their goal is to deploy a kick-tap rootkit to spoof ATM authorization messages and drain the cache. Though they've managed to pull off some withdrawals, the defenders acted fast enough to stop the worst-case scenario. What's scary is that even if the Raspberry Pi got discovered, the attackers still had a separate foothold via a mail server compromise. This operation highlights a new world where physical and cyber intuition go hand in hand. If you're working bank security, remember it's not just a firewall anymore. Watch for the people with a suspicious device in their pocket. Our final story moves from code to people. The head of Australia's intelligence agency, the Australian Security Intelligence Organisation, or ASIO, has issued a blunt warning. Defense workers' LinkedIn profiles are turning them into a shopping list for foreign spies. Here are some stats that you need to know. Over 35,000 Australians have LinkedIn profiles indicating access to sensitive information. 7,000 of them mention direct involvement in defense work, and more than 400 reference the highly classified AUKUS nuclear submarine program. State-backed operatives are crafting fake profiles, posing as recruiters, think tank staff, or headhunters. They dangle fake job ads, some offering $500 for reports on geopolitical topics once you respond. They request details about classified work and contacts, and there are even documented cases of defense contractors losing proprietary blueprints after being hit with malware-laced USB sticks abroad, leading to counterfeit competition in tech markets. It doesn't stop at digital. Espionage incidents have included overseas visitors stealing rare agriculture samples and high-value research with a snip of a branch. The cost of that? An estimated $12.5 billion a year for Australia alone. The take-home is that most breaches, even in these sophisticated scenarios, could have been prevented with basic cyber hygiene and stricter information discipline. If your LinkedIn paints a target on your back, it's time for a profile overhaul. And that wraps up this week's round of critical developments in the cyber world. Things to remember are that attackers are always adapting. The human factor is as important as the technology, and the smallest slip can sometimes have the biggest consequences. Update your tools, revisit your organizational culture, scrutinize your local footprint, and don't assume security labels guarantee safety. I'm your host, Edwin Kwan, and until next time, stay vigilant, stay curious, and stay safe.